We will now move on to accessing the folders and links such as sickness, holiday, and other absences. To access these features, please click on the folder header name. That will then show you the available links to these pages. For example, if we were to click the header name sickness, we would get the following links below. So let's click sickness details. Now just a tip, if there is more than one record or position, please select the relevant record from the bottom left page. In this case, we only have one, but for your selected staff, you may have more than one. Once you select the relevant record, you're able to see the sickness period, absence start, absence end date, and absence record for this specific record. Another tip is that you can click on the staff's name to return to the main page of the staff's record and links, like so. Another tip is that whilst you have the person selected, you can click on Menu, which will give you the option of a drop-down folder to all of the other links that was mentioned under the sickness folder. So once you have the sickness folder, you'll be directed to the sickness details link as shown in the screen in front of you. Please note that it is highly important that as managers you input the end of date, long-term absence or any changes of sickness for your staff into iTrent. If this is not done accurately, staff pay will be affected. Just to give you more details, the sickness detail link allows you to view previous and current sickness details. Please select a sickness record from the bottom left hand side of the page as I mentioned before. You can also use this link to update the sickness end date, then click Save. So for example, to edit the absence end date, you can click either the calendar or type in the absence end date. It may be easier for you to click the calendar so you can get a full view of their start date, which was the 5th for this example, and the end date, which I'm going to change to the 9th. And then click Save. Once again, it is highly important that any changes of sickness to your staff is entered correctly into iTrent, or this will affect their pay. Now, in the case of new sickness details, which we can access again through clicking Menu and clicking the link here, this enables you to add a new sickness record. You can choose more than one day, full day, or part day, like so. So once you have entered your absence start type, whether that be full or part, in this case I'm going to enter it as a full day, you should then add in your absence reason, which I'm going to choose headache, toothache, and migraine, the absence type, which is of course sickness, and then the end date as well. And once that is done, you can then click Save, and that should automatically save and appear on the left hand side as a new absence. Please note that if your staff is on long-term sick leave, please leave their end date blank until they return to work. So this end date here. Okay, we'll now move on to the sickness pattern override. This enables you to override the working pattern and set it to the correct hours that were taken when the employee was sick. Please note that if a staff member works on Saturday, as a manager, you need to ensure that this change to the working pattern is recorded accurately. This can be done by clicking the sickness pattern override to enable their pay to reflect the changes that's been made to their working pattern as of that week, for example. Now you can choose the absence episode from the bottom left page, which I've already clicked here, so the 4th of the 11th, 2019. And you can change the hours accordingly to validate and then validate it and then save. So for example, Miss Jane Doe, who works on a Monday and a Tuesday, was sick on a Monday, who works Monday to Friday, we're sick on a Monday, and also sick on a Tuesday. So then I validate it and then save it.
So, just another tip before we move on to adding the doctor's certificate under sickness. We're just going to quickly look at another tip for sections and links. So, as a manager, if you ever get prompted by iTrent to view a staff member, please remember to click on the three dots on the left-hand side page of the screen, which will give you an option to click on Reporting View. Again, that will give you the view of all the employees that report to you. And by clicking, for example, in this case, if I click Mr. Patel, I should be able to get the relevant record and information from Mr. Patel specifically and the relevant link.